Miranda, I am going to read your energetic signature. So when I went into your energy field, you ran up to me, your energy body, and you're like, hey! I was like, hey! And you're like, I'm so excited. And I was like, yay, me too. And you grabbed my hand and you said, let's go. And you like pulled me into your energy field. I was all about the hype. Okay, and I got all my notes. Okay, so when I went in, I don't know if you've ever seen those kids' play mats. They're for babies, and they're like this big mat, and they're usually like crinkly, and they have all these different toys on it, as well as sometimes like piano keys, and it's something that they can crawl on. It was very cute. I was like, oh, what is this? And then all of a sudden, I turned into a diorama. I don't know if you've seen those from like school, or when people make like miniature worlds, they have like little tiny trees and little mountains. You can get the things from like the hobby store. And it was just this almost kind of like mountainscape. And then all of a sudden we jumped in and we were in the mountainscape, like in the diorama. And so I'm looking around and your energy body is moving so fast. Okay. I don't know if you've seen Quicksilver. He's a Marvel character, and basically he's able to move super fast, kind of like the Flash, but almost at a teleportation level. I was like, girl, you gotta slow down. Like, I was like, whoa, like we're going so many places so fast. It's probably representative of your personality traits as well. Like, you're just very quick moving, not just physically, but energetically. Your thoughts move very quickly. You're very self-aware. You're very good at pattern recognition. You get bored very easily. You probably are a multi-passionalite, and you have your hands in a lot of different things, and you just really enjoy life. I know it can be tough sometimes, but just like as an overall experience, you just love experiencing new things, and you're just ready for changes constantly. You do really well with change, and sometimes it can feel really intense when we're going through those phases, but you wouldn't have it any other way. You're like, yeah, it's boring AF to stay the same, so we got to keep moving. We're gonna read what your higher self wrote. Okay, so she said to read more fantasy books. Okay, things that are magical and whimsical and otherworldly, because you have the ability to create your own internal realm, your own domain within yourself. And this is a beautiful gift to have, because the external reality is a facade. It is an illusion. It is not real. It feels very much so because it's tangible, but your internal world is the actual reality. And when you really delve into different dimensions and frequencies that are outside of the 3D paradigm, and you start feeling and expressing those within, you're going to start seeing the results of that outside of you. But it doesn't work the other way around. It doesn't work like we're pulling it outside in. It starts inside out. And you can extend this past fantasy books, but for some reason your higher self said that specifically. But TV shows, movies, anything that inspires you and lights you up and makes you feel magical, take the best parts of those things, like take conscious notice of it and put that in your internal realm. Mine looks like Avatar, like the one with the blue people, the realm in which they live in. It's very luscious and green, and there's a lot of water, very otherworldly-esque, but it is a place that I can go back to inside of myself. It is my home, and I have many different scapes within, but that one specifically is a place that is what I call my manifestation hub, okay, which we're going to talk about. So we want to be spending as much time in there as we can. Like, if you can go in there once a day or a couple times a week and really build within there the things that you want to experience, the things that you want to see. What you're doing is you are imbuing that home space with all of these wonderful frequencies, and you're amassing them. Okay, so you are literally changing your chakras and your auric field and your light body. So you are changing your actual identity through doing this. But not only that, you're going to see the changes again reflected outside of you in your outer reality. You're going to start seeing the different layers, okay, the unseen, through the veil. Okay, you are going to start having completely different people come into your experience. You may have, if you're not, necessarily super happy at your job, you might have a new job come in. It just really shifts everything, because instead of looking for the external validation of your 3D reality and looking inside of yourself. Okay, that's very heavy and dense, very 3D. We are going to go into our internal realm of magic and whimsy and look out into the world. And that is actually how you create this very loosey-goosey reality where time doesn't work the same, physics doesn't work the same, everything just aligns synchronistically or miraculously. The more time that I personally invest in filling up my magic cup through things like books and movies and TV, and even if it's about rainbows and dragons and unicorns and fairies and witches and, you know, all of these different things, it has a direct reflection on my day-to-day experiences. The reason that your higher self is bringing this up is because she called you a quantum architect. Okay, and I've only met one other person who is a quantum architect. His name is Tyel, but it's like a kind of completely different capacity. But your higher self said that you have this ability to build this home space within and also teach others how to build it within themselves, because that is lost wisdom and knowledge. Okay. This is high esoteric understandings of we need to build our realms and domains within, okay, in order to see it reflected without. And one of the ways that I have been able to utilize this with other people, and this might not be representative for you, but I feel like it might, so we're going to say it. Okay, so when I am working with clients, and more specifically with their inner children and their teenagers, or even different timeline versions of them, oftentimes they are feeling very insecure and unsafe, and they just need some really deep comfort and feeling seen, heard, and validated, and just like they're getting a cosmic hug, and that they can go somewhere where they can relax their central nervous system, and just feel more magical and whimsical. I will take them into my home space, that one that I have been cultivating over all of these years and continue to do so, like continue to pour things in really good frequencies and vibrations, and they can spend as long as they want in my home space, especially the inner children and the teens. And it has been so incredibly healing for them, because a lot of them have never experienced that type of love, that type of empathy, and that type of compassion. And this is not even something that you have to necessarily consciously do with others. When you come across somebody who you can tell has inner children or teens that have been feeling this way, you don't even have to say it verbally with your words. You can ask their higher self, of course, always ask permission, but ask their higher self and say, hey, is it okay if they come and spend some time in my inner realm and get some quantum healing while they're in there? And even more importantly than that, okay, this is a place for you to heal. For you to work on your manifestations in there, because it is basically a time capsule that you are creating of just love and joy and peace and serenity and just all of these wonderful vibrations that you are able to really amplify your manifestations, because we want these 3D tangible things, but that's not actually what we want. It's the emotion and feelings that they are going to bring us after we receive them. And so you can bypass a lot of these steps by actually just being in the energy already and then thinking about your manifestation, the 3D thing. So it's a shortcut, if you will. And some things that can help you with this quantum architect gift is to research about quantum jumping, timeline shifting, and astral projection, because you are actually astral projecting within self. And that's another one of your gifts that's similar to what I do, and I'm able to jump into different time points within people's Akashic records, which is something that is coming down the line for you too, because of that whole Quicksilver being able to teleport very quickly. So researching those things will be very beneficial for these gifts. And I want to thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I hope you have a very magical day.